one that you would like to focus on of those three?
Um, I guess I would probably say organization.
Okay. Do you want to copy that and paste it into that the first box where it says learning objective?
Okay.
I think that's really helpful. In my class, we do a lot of like nonfiction writing, and I have a really hard time getting my students to organize things. So I'm interested to hear what the English teachers have to say.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do now. I'm gonna step out of the way, and I'm going to center this so people watching can see what we're doing here. And if anybody is in the live chat event, they can certainly be wanting to participate as well. So here we have our learning objective, and so what we want to do is identify any sub-skills or knowledge. And I have 3 boxes, but there certainly can be more. So why don't the two of you, you are a team, you have to teach this, and now you know what the objective is, but you need to know how you're going to break that into its building block parts. So you go ahead and do that, and I'll listen and enjoy, and then ask any questions if I need to.
Okay.
Sounds great.
So, Sarah, what kind of writing do you have your students do?
We do a lot of nonfiction writing. We do a lot of like explaining content and describing different things like that in my science classroom. So.
Okay. So, do you have them organize it by like main idea and supporting details, or?
A lot of times we do things like that. Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to put that in as a sub-skill because if students don't know main idea and supporting details, they won't know to do that.
What else, in like a broader sense, what else would you include here if it wasn't for a task that would be like more narrow?
Right. Usually I probably kind of stick to the 5-paragraph essay the most often because it seems like a lot of students either already know it or it's easy enough to explain. So I guess I would just call that a 5-paragraph essay structure.
Okay.
And then if they don't know that structure, I would remind them that there's an introduction, body, like usually 3, but there could be other 3. Well, in 5, yes, there would be 3. 3 body paragraphs and a conclusion. And I would want them to have the knowledge that there are other. This is where it would be helpful to know the task.
Yeah, I know.
Because there's so many ways to organize, and obviously 5-paragraph essay is one of them. You know.
So
maybe just say that is the task that we're working on, is having them.
So one thing I might point out is one of the steps that Popham talks about is determining an assessment procedure that'll master the goal. And he has that statement, if the student can do blank, they have mastered blank. So if we go up to that learning objective
to the top.
Yeah, so what do you guys think the student needs to do in order to show that they can produce clear and coherent writing in which the organization is appropriate to the task, purpose, and audience? So that would be, maybe that would help you then know exactly what they have to do at the end to show that they've mastered that particular objective. And I'm wondering, are you saying they have to write a 5-paragraph essay? Is that going to be the...
Well, we could say that, or we could say that if the student has a task, they could decide on what structure they want to use. One of those could be the 5-paragraph essay, but it could be a compare and contrast essay, or it could be another format. Because not all writing tasks are even essays,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think because the context isn't necessarily defined, we would have to maybe define what it would be by writing that.
So you're saying up here where it says instead of appropriate to the task, we would change the task to a task?
Maybe.
So, okay. So do you want to say it's a 5-paragraph essay then? Or
Sure. I mean,
that's fine with me.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting discussion that the two of you are having, because I think this particular benchmark is very, very broad. It leaves a lot of decision making up to the two of you, you know, what
mm-hmm.
kind of writing and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to put in like no.
So here's a question for you, Sheila. You know, you had talked about the task, purpose, and audience.
Right.
Might you make a decision here where you just want to focus on one of those three for this particular objective, like produce clear and coherent writing in which the organization is appropriate to the audience, or thinking if you did something like that, then the 5-paragraph essay certainly does have a certain audience that it would be appropriate for.
Well, I would almost want to say produce clear and coherent writing in which the organization is appropriate to a 5-paragraph essay, period. And then deal with purpose and audience separately.
Well, let's do that then.
Okay.
So then we would be able to say if the students are able to write a 5-paragraph essay, then we know that they have met this standard, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And I don't remember what the correct format for that is. Oh yeah, then they have mastered the learning objective, right?
Yeah, if the student can, like you said, write a proper 5-paragraph essay, they have mastered, or I don't know, they have mastered the objective, or you could say almost they have produced clear and coherent writing, but then why would you want to repeat that again? So I wouldn't do that.
So is it all right just that way?
Well, you guys are the teachers who are going to have to teach this and assess this.
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Okay. So I just want to point out how it was interesting that the learning objective had to be altered a bit in order for us to kind of get our heads around exactly how, you know, we would go about teaching that.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think that's okay for a teacher to do that, or is that like a no-no?
Well, I think in this case, like you were saying, that the context that they provided is really broad and without a specific place. I mean, I know that, you know, as you're looking at your scope and sequence throughout your school year, you're going to be thinking, okay, well, in this unit, we're going to do a 5-paragraph essay, but in this unit, we're going to do a compare and contrast essay. And so I think that you kind of have to look at a bigger picture with that as well.